Hey guys, welcome back to Ash Echoes. In today's video, I wanted to have a chat about Scarlett. She is coming in less than 12 hours after recording this video. She may already be out by the time you see this. So I want to go through her and my thoughts around pulling her. Now, before we get into that, I do want to mention this because a lot of people have asked it. With Chen, will she come to the standard banner? A lot of people have been asking me that. If you scroll down here through the info and we get over to this line here, after the current target residence ends, the up 6-star Echomancer will enter the standard residence and targeted residence pools in future versions. If we click on this, it says that they will be available in the standard residence and the target residence, which is like the standard rate ups, starting from the third event version after their rate up event ends. Now, the third event version, I'm not too sure what this refers to, whether it's like basically the third character banner or whether it's like third overall patch with 2 characters. I believe it's each character, but don't quote me on that. They will be coming. I just don't know the exact details of what they consider to be an event version. I will update you guys in the future, but just know they will eventually come over there. So that is the first thing that I wanted to go through. Now, the next thing that I do want to talk about before we jump into Scarlet specifically is how many summons you have, and keeping in mind that we do have some of these summons, if you've been saving like me, that are timed summons. So if we go to these ones, you can see I've got 35 days left. So unless I'm looking at summoning for Scarlet or old mate after her, I'm probably going to have to use these. I don't know if they will stretch me through to the character after. So that is why you may end up just having to put some into one of these 2 characters anyway, due to having some of these time limited summons if you have been saving them as well. So let's bounce over here, and I wanted to talk about something to do with Scarlet that I've seen a lot in the comments, and I just wanted to let you guys know about. So if we go over here, this is over on Pridewin, and this is the CN tier list. So I've seen a lot in the comments that people are like, oh, she's only A tier on CN. I'll skip her and go for something else. That's perfectly valid. I just want to explain the ratings over here on Pridewin. I chatted to Lyriel, who's the main contributor over there, on why she was not A tier and not S tier. And basically the way it works is this is looking at speedrunning in bossing. So the way Lyriel explained it to me, because I don't personally play the CN version myself, is that these 4 up here are basically the best at speed running. Because if you want to get on the leaderboards, it's going to be about the speed running. So these 4 are the best for that. However, Scarlet is actually still the best guild boss. Once we get the guild boss battles into the game, she is still the best in that aspect of the game. She is the top. Now, you will need 3 teams, so you will need others to do it as well. But Scarlet is actually the best at guild bosses, and then good at the rest of the stuff. Whereas these guys are the best at speedruns and good at guild bosses, if that makes sense. So these guys just have more value in that sense because it's only one mode where she is the absolute best, but that does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that she is bad. She is still very good. So I just wanted to clarify why she is not in the S tier on the CN, because a lot of people do look at that and then base everything off of that. I just wanted to let you guys know. Now I wanted to jump into Scarlet more specifically, have a chat about her and the way she works, and let you guys make the decision if you're pulling her. I personally am going to pull her. I think she's a really cool character. I like the playstyle, I like the attack speed, and there are some really good free-to-play teams you can build around her, which is huge for the current state of the game. Plus, it will give me 2 completely fleshed out teams with the Summoner team and her, and also the other thing you do have to consider, of course, is going to be what actual summon income you have. So you can see here, I got this is completely free to play. I have 66 summons and I have 29,000 premium currency. I know I'm going to be skipping old mate after her, so I'm happy to get her because we do get a ton of resources. And if you're wondering whether, am I going to be able to get her all the way or anything like that, remember we do have this event coming as well, which is going to give us an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of those timed summons that we've got to go ahead and use within that 35-day period or whatever they are available for. So you definitely want to go ahead and, consider whether you want to use these on which character you want to use them on. And that is another consideration as well. Also, like I said, she does have some pretty good free-to-play teams. So if we jump over here and we go to Echomancers, I've mentioned this before, I'll do whole videos on it, but we got Azusa, who is a 5-star that she pairs well with. We've got Freda, who hopefully everyone has now through their selector, their SR or their 5-star selector. Hopefully everyone managed to pick a Freda copy up. She's probably the most valuable one to go ahead and pick up. Then, like I said, Azusa, I believe, is going to be on her banner as well. And then the other one we have is Begonia, who works really well with her as another 5-star. You've also got... I think, what's his name? Falco or whatever that wind guy's name is. I don't actually have him, but there is another option in there as well if you want to do it. So you can make some very free-to-play friendly teams with her. Whereas with Chen, when you're looking at the summoner team, you're looking at Chen and Luke, which are two 6-star characters. And then ideally you want Laurel in that team as well. If you do have Laurel like me, you can use her with Azusa and Scarlet, and that's the team I will start with before I get my Begonia up, because if you look at my Begonia, she's still only level 1 on skills, S3. I just don't have the resources to invest, and as I mentioned in a previous video, I am currently saving all of my resources, if we go to storage, all my stamina resources for when Scarlet drops, so that I can go ahead and boost up my Scarlet. So keep that in mind, but that is just something you need to consider, is how many summons you have, and the fact that the game is giving us a pretty good summon income at the moment. We also do have the next stage of the story opening up, which will give us more free income and stuff like that. So honestly, the game is seeming pretty generous. So just weigh up your resources as well. But let's bounce back over here and have a chat about Scarlet. I did go through her more in my other video where we looked at the trailer. But essentially, she is a really strong unit in her own right, really, but she does want to be in that sort of win team with attack speed boosting to really function. But the cool thing about her is, if you want to go full in depth into each of her skills, I do go through it in that other video, which I'll leave in the description. But the big thing with her, if you're looking at just playstyle, obviously she is a wind unit, so you don't have any of the elemental interactions with it, which if you're someone like me who has already been playing the physical team, which once again doesn't have elemental interactions, then maybe you're like craving some elemental action, and then you save and you get old mate for the fire team or something like that. It's definitely an option for you, but just note that because she is over here in the wind, she won't have the elemental interactions. But the big thing that she does have is, and I like characters that are versatile like this, I like fast attacking, but also while she's using this skill, she gets the 90% damage reduction. So I like characters that can pseudo fill other roles. So she can like pseudo tank by going in the middle of the enemy. She can do her wheelies around and hold a bunch of the aggro from the enemies to go ahead and basically mitigate that damage while still pumping out some really big damage herself. I think in general, her playstyle is looking really nice. And like I said, I think the most important thing that people are looking at is going to be and once again, she does dispel the toxic mist as well. So that is the benefit of win characters as well. You know, if you're not using Simbeka or something like that, and like I personally don't have her built, like this is going to be give me ways to deal with toxic mist and stuff like that. But she is just a really high damage dealer. When we look at the guild bosses, as I mentioned with the CN tier list, how she is, the best in. She's the best in guild bosses, but she's A overall. The bosses have basically endless health bars, and you keep going. These guys have the higher upfront burst to get rid of enemies quick, because that's how you do speed runs. Whereas she just has the highest, most consistent overall damage. Now, if you're looking for characters that you'll look to in the future, Elpis is going to be another one that you would want to look to if you do have this team set up to go ahead and add to that team. She's also a good overall general character, but just so you guys know, when you're looking at the future with Scarlet, that is going to be another character that you can go ahead and pick up. So that pretty much wraps up Scarlet. That's all the considerations I can give you guys. At the end of the day, I will do spotlights. Like I said, I'm going to pull her straight away. I'll do some free-to-play team builds with her, and I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown, and so you can see exactly how she works if you're not sure. So stay tuned for those. I'll get those videos out so that, if you're thinking about it but not sure, maybe the gameplay, once you see how the team works and the gameplay of it, maybe that'll change your mind and make you want to pull or skip, depending on how it is when you see it. So that's all the considerations I can give you right now. Like I said, I am definitely going for her. I think she is a really cool character. The win team is incredibly viable and strong. It's going to be one of the strongest teams at Global, along with the Summoner team when she comes out. So I'm perfectly happy with that. And yes, it does fall off in speedruns later on, but it is still perfectly viable. You'll still clear everything. And let's face it, as free to play, I'm probably not going to be getting at the top of the ladder anyway. So I don't really care about that side of things. But anyway, guys, let me know what you're doing. Are you pulling? Are you skipping? Or are you waiting to see? And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.